Hi, I'm Megan from meganplus5.com and welcome to another one of my craft tutorials. So last week my 4 daughters and I went to the Dollar Tree and we found these really cool burlap leaves. And so naturally we had to buy them because they were only $1. And so I've been kind of kicking some ideas around in my head and I figured out what I wanted to make with them. So I'm going to be making a farmhouse style garland with them and I can't wait to show you. So let's get started. So for this craft you will need 2 sets of these leaves. I went ahead and cut out my stencils, but you'll need a stencil that says fall. And I did some Rae Dunn inspired letters for these, but you can do whatever letters that you want. You'll need a couple of paintbrushes, some scissors, some black and white paint, these tiny little clothespins. I picked these up at Walmart, and some twine. So before this tutorial, I went ahead and opened up these brown leaves just to make sure that the craft that I wanted to do today would actually work out. So you want to go ahead and open them. We can set that off to the side. And they all have these wires attached to them. And it's just one layer of the burlap and then this wire is glued to it. So you want to go ahead and take that off of all of them. So for this craft, I'm actually going to be layering these leaves on top of the orange ones. So you want to trim away just a little bit of this brown leaf. So I already did this one, so he can just be set to the side. And now just do this. And it's just a little tiny bit. I don't know if you can see that or not, but just a little bit. And it doesn't have to be perfect, so don't worry if it's not perfect. And since we're just going to be using 4 letters for this, we only need to do 4 of the leaves. Okay, so now I'm just going to take some acrylic paint and I'm going to paint these all white. So it should look like that. The back of it will look kind of like that. If you don't like that, you can go back through and paint it. I'm probably going to go back through and paint mine. And then you just want to let those dry. So once your leaves are totally dry, you can start stenciling on them. So I cut some cardstock stencils out with my Cricut machine, and I just did a really skinny font, kind of like a Rae Dunn inspired font. And then I also connected the middle for my A so that I didn't have to worry about placing that on there and it moving around and stuff. And I did mine 2.5 inches tall, and then they varied in width. I didn't change the width of them at all. So when you are stenciling them, you want to make sure you can see the line on here still from where the wire was on the back, and you just want to make sure that that is on the back side. So we're going to flip all these around. And it might take a second to find them. But you can definitely see them. Okay. So you just want to take a little bit of black paint. It doesn't take much at all. And a paintbrush. Just put your stencil right on there. Doesn't have to be perfect on there. And if you're worried about it moving around, you can tape this down if you want to, but I'm not going to worry about that. Okay. And then, like a lot of my other tutorials, we use a sponge brush, but today we're just going to use a paintbrush. You just want to dab it on there, just like a pouncing motion. And just be careful not to get on the outside there. I made my frame around my letters really, really narrow. So if you're worried about that, you can always make your frame that goes around it, the rectangle, much wider. So it'll look about like that when you're done. So we're just gonna move on to the next one. And you can use these for another craft if you need to. Just make sure that the paint is totally dry on there before you put it down on the next thing that you're gonna use it for. Okay, and your A is going to have a space right there, so you can just fill that in with your paintbrush. Like that. Once your stenciling is dry, then you can glue it onto the orange leaves. So once your stenciling is dry, you'll want to glue them onto the orange leaves. Some of them might not come off very easily, so like this one is not coming off at all. So you can just take your wire cutters and just clip them off. So they'll still have the wire on the back, but like this one, I was not successful of trying to get this off of there, and it's just gonna totally rip it apart. So that'll work for these. time to attach the stenciled white leaf onto the orange leaf, and I'm just going to use a high temp glue gun. I picked this up at Walmart, but you can get it in any craft store, and I'll also leave a link to some that I recommend from Amazon. Okay, so you just want to put kind of a bead right down the middle here. And then just center it on the leaf. And then push down. So it should look like this. And then you just want to do that for all of them. And then you just measure out the length that you need for your twine. And I'm probably going to hang mine on my door over here. So we'll just measure out about that much. And then you want to loop an end over here. And then loop another end over here. And then using these tiny little clothespins, you just want to attach these on here. And if you wanted, you could hot glue them, but I really like these clothespins, so that's what I'm going to use. So for just a few dollars, you can make your very own fall rustic garland from the Dollar Tree. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave some comments below. And if you love this tutorial, be sure to give it a like and don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. And for more DIY tutorials, visit my website at meganplus5.com. See you then.